Hey lovelies, I wanted to do a Mardi Gras look for you today. Mardi Gras is coming up in just a couple of days from when I'm filming this, and as the name implies, we are going to get bright and colorful. I've already did my face makeup. This is just going to be my eyes, and of course we are going to use the traditional Mardi Gras colors of gold, green, and purple. So let's get started. Let's see, first of all, I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush, the big fluffy end, to put a wash on. And I've primed my eyes with my brightening highlight, which today was white peach, and that of course is my Seint makeup. And if you want to find out what your colors would be, this is white peach. Then you would need to send me a selfie picture with no makeup on, about arm's length away from a window, not direct sunlight coming on your face, but lit up, not washed out, not shadowy. And then we could figure out what your perfect colors for your skin would be, from a brightening highlight, which would go on the areas that you want to brighten, the main highlight, which would be traditional foundation, colors, contour, and bronzer, and we could talk about lip and cheeks, we could talk about eyeshadows, your makeup routine, your skincare, anything that works for you. So reach out to me. Everything that I use today, except for my mascara, is going to be Seint. We don't make mascara yet. I don't know if they will, if that's in the future or not, but right now that's the only thing that I'm not using. I love my Seint makeup. And I've been doing makeup for many years, and so this is the only thing that I use now. So I'm going to use Pup. Pup is a great color to kind of anchor over that brightening highlight to get it all a flat one color canvas, and so nothing is showing through, and a blank slate for my colors, and it helps them kind of stick, helps them kind of last longer, and makes them pop. So if you use an eyeshadow primer, which I did for years, this is what I use now because I'm already using it on my face, and it is way cheaper than the eyeshadow primer that I used to use, and it works just as well. I did a little test, one on each eye, and it works really great. So, okay, so Pup we did all over, and now we're going to start light because we're going to do really bright colors. I have not played with these at all. It's going to look good or I wouldn't be posting the video. So, and even if it goes a little awry for a minute, we will be able to figure it out. So let's start light so that we don't get too crazy all at once and we can kind of build color slowly. So let's go with basic. I love using basic. It is, as the name says, a basic brown or tan, and I am just going to put it in my crease, and you see me kind of windshield wipering back and forth, and then I kind of swirl up. So it starts in my crease, that's where the deepest part of the color is, and then I bring the color up. I don't want to bring it down because I don't want to bring it on my eyelid. We're going to do other things there, but not only do I want to soften the top of this line so that it's not a harsh line, but I want to bring a little bit of that color up so it can be a transition color between the highlight that will be right under my brow and the deepest part of my crease. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little more color here on the top because I didn't quite have enough in that area. So I'm just building the color so that it's even, it's as deep as I want it, and then I'll come over and do the other side. If you haven't yet, if you would like and subscribe to my video, that way you won't miss any of the videos. It helps me out a bunch, and then you will get an alert every time I do a video. I'm going to try to do videos at least once a week, hopefully more. I have a number of different channels and things that I do, but you should be seeing videos most of the time at least once a week. And then if you want to leave me any comments, I'd love to connect with you and hear if you found these videos useful. I spend a lot of time doing it, so it is really encouraging when I hear from you and know that you like it. If you like any of the colors, we have perfect colors for Mardi Gras in our eyeshadows. And so if you like any of the colors, then I can hook you up, let me know. And I am a Seint artist, and so I sell all of the colors and the products that I use, including the brushes. So, all right. So we have even coverage now. We have a nice brown color in my crease, and it works its way up into this area so that we have kind of a gradient because it's deepest down here. And we'll probably go even deeper with that here in a little bit. And let's see, now let's go ahead and go into our eyelid colors first. And I'll go ahead and show you a little sneak peek because I said we have the perfect colors and I meant it. We have As If, which is that beautiful, glorious, royal purple color. It is every bit as vibrant as it looks, but it's not kind of a wild grape punk type purple. It's just it's regal. And then we have this one, which is, I believe that's called Foxy. This is Foxy. You know what? Actually, I tell you what, we may even go a little deeper into Gold Digger. This is like an antique gold. Foxy is still a gold, but it's like more of a light champagne. But the gold in Mardi Gras is more of a yellow gold. And so let's go ahead and go into the Gold Digger. And then number 33. I don't know why it's called number 33, but it is. And it is a beautiful, like metallic, bright moss green. And so let's start on the lighter end of that. And I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush, the big fluffy end, and I'm going to start with Gold Digger, which is that antique gold, the kind of brighter gold. Wow. And it looks like I have gold leafed my eye. It is potent. Our colors are very, very vibrant, the vast majority of them. And so right away, I get the full potency of Gold Digger. Every time I put this on and think of the name, almost every time, I think of Kanye's song and get it stuck in my head for a little while. Okay, so doesn't it look like I've gold leafed my eye? All right, now, okay, we've got that laid down. Let's go into the green next. And I'm still going to use the same brush, but I'm going to use the smaller end. I'm going to use the pencil brush end. It's a little shorter, a little denser, and so it's going to pack on the color even more. And I want it in a very small, thin line of color. And I don't want a big area, so I don't want to use my big fluffy brush. And so I'm going to dig into the number 33, the pretty green one that I mentioned, and put some of that on my brush. And then we're just going to do a thin line here, not too thin, and get that on nice and thick so it doesn't get lost in the other colors. And sometime soon, I'm going to do a look with just greens and golds because I think those are really pretty together. But today, we also have to work in that As If, the purple. And so that's when you know it's a real party going on. Okay, All right. So I made this side a little wider than I wanted to. That'll be okay. The as if is strong enough to color over it. But I have the nice gold, I have the green, and now let's go into that purple. Again, it is called As If, and it is a luscious purple, just a regal, beautiful purple. I cannot picture a more beautiful purple, honestly, and I've had lots of purples because I like purple. And I've had a wide variety, but this one is just so pretty with that metallic shimmery look to it. And it's got the depth. Oh my goodness, I love it. That's so fun. All right, and I'm just gonna put it on the little bit of eyelid that I have left. And this one we're gonna have to color over the green just a tad because it took that little outer edge, most of it. Oh, that's pretty. That is really fun. I've never been to New Orleans. I want to go. It is on my bucket list for sure. But I do make a mean jambalaya, and it is a legit recipe that I got from someone who spent most of their life in New Orleans. So it's the real deal. Although I don't know if I could eat crawfish, and I'm not much of a fish person anyway, and so I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to try some of the cuisine. However, I have had alligator before when we were in Florida. All right, so beautiful color. I love it. It's really bright, but we need to do something more up here in the crease because it just needs more pop and it needs more depth. But first, let's even this out a little. First, let's go ahead and go into putting some eyeliner on the bottom. And for the eyeliner, let's go ahead and go into that green. And I'm gonna put it on still the same brush, small end. And I'm gonna put it on the pencil brush end and just work it across my lower line. Lash line as close as I can, but it's still going to be kind of a wide line because this brush is wide. And that is giving a lot of pop. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring it in toward the front of my eye. But I don't want it to get too low. I want it to come pretty close to the lash line. And I just keep adding until it's the depth of color that I want it to be, all the way across that lower line. That is bright. You are going to see me coming for sure. All right, now let's deepen this a little. Let's go into, I've got a few choices here. Let's see. Let's go into Ivy League, which is a deep forest green. It is a matte color. All of the colors that I used on my lid are all shimmers. They've all got that metallic shine. And this is going to be matte just to chill it out a little on the outside. And just like that outer quarter, outer third of the bottom there. Okay. And then let me go ahead and do the upper liner too. That way I can see the darkest stuff that's going on my eyes, which will be mostly the eyeliner, and everything that I have laid so far, and that'll tell me how deep I need to go with my crease. And so because these colors are so strong, I don't want to use another color because I already have so much color going on. So let's just stick with black. This is Salem. That is our powder black eyeshadow. I pretty much always use our eyeshadows now, unless I use our cream eyeliner. But for my eyeliners, and I did that way before I found Seint. I feel like it gives a softer look. I like being able to have my things do double duty so that I can have a minimal amount of makeup and don't have to have a bunch of pencils laying around, and I can fit everything right into my compact. Everything's magnetic. I can customize it the way that I want, and so this way I can get triple duty out of that. And actually I use the browns for my brow powder, so I get triple duty out of these, and sometimes I'll use them for other things. So all right, and I'm just working across my lash line. I'm making it as thick as I want. I'm keeping the thickest part out here, and I'm kind of angling down and tapering into my lash line at about halfway across my eyelid. And then I'll go ahead and do the other side. Now it is covering up the purple a little bit, not all of it, of course, just the bottom of the purple. And since the purple is probably the smallest part anyway, then we'll probably end up adding some more purple somewhere just to get some more purple in there, because we want all of the colors to shine. Okay. And when I lay this down, I just kind of tap it where I want it to go. Of course, it's not an eyeliner pen like a liquid, so it's not continuous fluid. You have to re-dip and get some more color. It's going to go softer as it slowly wears off of your brush. So wherever you lay it first, of course, is going to have your darkest concentration of color. And so I start with the outside, so that's the deepest part of my eyeliner. And then I kind of flick it and tap it and work its way in. I kind of flick it a little bit up so it smokes it just a dab. I love it. I don't know how well you can see it. I love color. So this may be terrifying for some of you who are not used to wearing color. Okay, so this is the annoying part. Do you see all of that dust? Okay, that's called fallout. And anytime you use bright color, especially dark colors, you are going to have fallout dust. With some cheaper makeups, it is way worse, but even with the best makeup, it's powder, and so you're going to have some of that. So I just use a big fluffy brush. A lot of times that will get most of it. Sometimes it will get all of it. And then if it doesn't, I will just go in with the Q-tip and I'll kind of wipe it. This is why if I'm not doing a video, a lot of times I will go ahead and skip doing my under eye. But when you do that and you have makeup on all the rest of your face, it looks a little crazy. And so I didn't want you to think my skin makeup, I did something funky, that it just didn't look right. But usually I'll wait and do this after I do my eyes. That way when I wipe this up, then I'm not going to mess up that under eye. So we'll have to add in the under eye. Put this over here so I don't forget here in a minute, but for now I'm just going to clean that up. Probably should have waited to the end, but I had to address it since it smeared so bad when I wiped at it. And usually I do not get it this far along my nose, but I guess I was extra messy today. So, okay, we'll clean that up in a minute. and we'll reapply the brightening highlight. If I wipe with a Q-tip, if that is not enough to get it all, I will put a little bit of lotion on the Q-tip and that will get it all, but your makeup will come up. So like I said, we'll touch that up. All right, so let's go in here on the crease with a little bit of a darker brown just to kind of amp it up. And let's start with, let's go with Bird. Basic and Bird are what I use on my brows. Every once in a while, I feel like I need a darker part on the tail and I will use Oak. But those are nice little browns and that's what you see on my eyes. I'm going to go into, let's stick with the eyeshadow brush. And I'll start with a big fluffy end and see if that's going to be too big or not. So I'm going to have to be careful. I do not want to mess up what I have going on my lids. I don't want to muddy that up with brown at all. And so I'm just kind of tapping it here on my crease, mainly the outer part, just to kind of add some depth to the color so that it matches the kind of tone that I have going. Okay, so it looks fine. When your eyes are open, you don't necessarily have to match it. Like this side has a much lighter crease and that would work fine, but I just like for my makeup to look good when I close my eyes also, instead of just looking good when my eyes are open, because we don't realize how much we look down, we look around when we're talking and you're blinking your eyes. And if you, it's like how you use a mirror and you look at what's going on in the back of your hair to make sure nothing's looking crazy. It's nice to have it look good even when your eyes are closed and have everything look a little more polished and symmetrical. And so I just went in and deepened that up a little. I haven't put my highlight yet. Let's go ahead and put the highlight. We'll go into that Foxy that I talked about maybe using. It's the lighter gold. And I'll go in with the Multitasker brush. It has this flat paddle brush end. And that way I can be really precise and specific, because I am just going to put it here under my brow. I don't bring my highlight down too much. Number one, I don't have a lot of room. Some people have a ton of room between their eyebrow and they have lots of real estate. I don't, and so I don't like to waste that real estate on just one thing. I like to have more of a gradient of color, and so I keep it pretty thin. And sometimes if you use the frosty colors too much on this whole area, it can look a little dated, like 1980s or something like that, or 70s. And so I like to keep it a little more settled there. And then I'll just kind of blend that a little bit with my eyeshadow brush so everything blends in there nice. Okay. And just to give a little more pop, let's go ahead and go into that As If, the purple, because I see a lot of gold going on, I see a lot of green going on, and you may see more with the camera or you may see less. I don't know how well you can see it, but I want to see more purple. Like I said, I like purple. It only has a tiny little triangle on the edge of my eyelid, and part of that is covered up with my eyeliner. And so let's dip into, still with the eyeshadow brush, let's dip into that more. And I'm going to wing it out just to give it a little more. A little more space, let it show up too. And we're not going to leave it like that. We're going to have to blend it here in a second, but let me go ahead and do the other side. And I'm trying to keep it fairly thin and angled a little bit up. And then I'm going to take that wing and I'm going to brush it up into the edge of my crease a little. And turn my brush over so we can blend that together. And I'm going to blend it here up into my crease. I don't want my entire crease being purple, although I am not afraid of a purple crease. I've worn a purple crease many times, but I don't want it to overpower everything else. So I'm trying to kind of keep things a little even. Now we are going full on glam here. I have a friend, she said she always ends up in Glam City when she's done with her makeup, and I thought that is me too. I always end up in Glam City, almost always. Okay, so because we've gotten kind of dark, let's go ahead and take that basic, that nice light tan that we started with in the crease, and let me add just a little bit to the top of this purple area part of the crease, and we'll just kind of tone that down a little, blend that out so everything blends kind of nicely. It doesn't look like we just have a random streak of purple. And just softening that. We don't want harsh lines on this one. Not up here anyway. Okay. And I'm going to add some more of that bird, which was the slightly darker brown. We mainly, when we added it and darkened it, we mainly kept it, ooh, went a little dark. Glam City, here we are. I mainly kept it on the outside of the eye, but I'll go ahead and darken the inside of the crease and up just a little, since we have so much going on the outside, just to kind of balance things out. And then let's go ahead and put the mascara on. You'll have to excuse my hair. This is winter and our days are short as far as the sunlight, and I had other things going on today and was running out of sunlight, so I had to hurry up and get this video in because I didn't want to wear my Mardi Gras eye to the doctor's office or the bank or other things that I have to do next week. So drives me crazy when I do that. I rarely ever do this, but I have done this like the past like 5 days that I've been doing videos. Oh my goodness. I'm making a mess everywhere. I don't want it to look like I got in a fight. I got a bruised up face. Okay. So, but anyway, I didn't have time to really do anything with my hair. So I needed to get this video done today. In between the camera setup and lights and getting everything ready, sometimes that can be a lengthy process. Okay. Oh, and then on my lips today, I went more subtle because I didn't want to do a bright, bold lip on top of bright, bold eyes. I didn't want to take it too over the top, and so I have Summer Love on my lips, and I put just a little dab of pink grapefruit on my cheeks. And if you saw my video, I think it was yesterday, I don't know. I had one recently where I think I had pink eyes, and it it was a fast video where I don't think I talked, and I showed that I just put one little dot of color of our cheek colors does both of my cheeks because they're really saturated, really concentrated with color. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and do my mascara because we're 95% of the way done, and that's how I like to do it. I use black, and that's gonna pop against that color, but I like to see the almost finished look so I know where I need to darken things up and what I need to do. So let's go ahead and let's add some depth of color to the inside of my lower lash line here. Let's start with, hold up, I've got a triple decker here. If you didn't notice, I love it. I have a triple decker for my eyeshadow, I have a double decker for my skin colors, and a double decker for my cheek colors. And I get to customize it exactly how I want. Let's see, let's go with oak and do that on my line brush. And I'm using the flat angled end of my line brush. I'm putting a little bit on there. And then I'm going to get close to the lash line. And just to kind of darken that up a little bit there, just to make it pop a little more. I don't want to completely cover the green that I have there, but I want it to stand out. And while we're in there, let's go ahead, I'll go back into that Multitasker brush, and I'll go into that Foxy, which is that light gold color, and I'll put just a little bit in here by my tear duct, just to give our eye a little brightness, a little more gold, a little more fun, a little more party. And I'll pull it down just a little into the bottom of my lash line. Okay, pretty. All right, now let's go ahead also and touch up the under eye. Like I said, today I used white peach, and the reason I have so many colors is because these three I use for a brightening highlight depending on the coloring that I have going on, the color of my outfits, the look I'm going for, the other colors I wear. I have two main highlights that I use. You only need one. No one has to have this many. I just like having options. I like having different colors for the seasons depending on what I'm wearing. I have a couple color correctors, this and this, and I have a bronzer and my contour. So let me use that white peach. I'm gonna use my favorite for my brightening highlight, which is the Detail Hack brush, or the Detail brush now, and I'm using the small end. And the reason it's my favorite for this is because it gets into these tiny little areas so well. And we'll brighten that up again where I got my eyeshadow and eyeliner a little crazy. Kind of brighten this area up again. I'm using it in kind of a wedge shape, not just only under my eye, but along my nose and in a wedge coming back up. That way it brightens the whole center part of my face. And okay. All right, and the other thing I'm gonna do is, I feel like If you have lighter eyes, then you can get away with using less eyeliner, and it will look fine. I feel like a lot of times I need a little more because I have hazel eyes, and sometimes depending on the lighting, depending on what I'm wearing, they can look dark. And so I don't feel like I have quite enough pop, especially with this bright color. So let's go in to that Salem, that soft black color, the eyeshadow color, and let's do that really close to the lash line just to make sure I have all the pop I want here. A lot of girls nowadays have fake eyelashes, and I wear those once in a while, not all the time for sure. Or the girls have lash extensions and things, and so they have a lot more pigment going on down close to their lash line. And then for those of us who aren't wearing those, and especially as you get older, your eyelashes kind of thin out, and I have fine hair anyway, and so they've never been super lush, and so this kind of gives you that definition to make it look like your eyelashes are a little thicker too. So all right, so pretty. And I'm gonna go, I'm just getting picky here. I'm gonna go into that Ivy League, that hunter green matte color. It's a beautiful color, and I'm just gonna thicken this area on the outside up just a little, just to bring more drama to this outside part of my lower lash line. And I'm kind of smudging that so it's not too crazy. So, all right, so it's so pretty. I love the color. If I were going to sit here and nitpick, which I would if I was going out, I would probably put a little more purple up in here. I'd probably go a little darker in the crease. I could possibly do more eyeliner, but I love it, and I hope that it was useful and helpful and fun for you too. We have amazing colors of every kind in the rainbow. They're all so pretty. They're so saturated. They're so velvety, buttery smooth. And so if you want any of these colors or any others, then let me know and I can get you started. And I will be on the journey with you to help you get the makeup looks and the routine that you want. It's not just like when you go in Sephora and someone helps you to pick one color and then you're done and then you never see them again and you're on your own. I will kind of help you and work with you so that you can get the looks that you want. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave any comments. I would love to hear from you. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.